Hey guys, this is Jam of JamOnline.ph, and today we're gonna do a review of the Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2. This is currently the best tablet and probably my favorite device ever from Huawei. Second actually, because I love the P60 Pro. But this is my favorite Huawei tablet ever. So let me show you the Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2. So first things first, you can see in here that we got here a large 13.2-inch display with the resolution of 2880 by 1920. It's an OLED display. We got here a 94% screen to body ratio. We got 1000 nits brightness, and the best part about this one is that it comes with a 144 hertz refresh rate. So you can already see that, okay, fine, we got here a large display. It's almost as big as other laptops out there in the market, and currently it's the biggest tablet that we have seen from the brand. And of course, that isn't complete without this one. So this is the M Pencil. It's the third generation M Pencil powered by Neuralink. So this might look like an innocent or just a typical stylus out there in the market, but this one is actually pretty awesome because this one is the most accurate and the most responsive stylus that I have ever seen. Huawei has also said that this one supports up to 10,000 pressure level sensitivity. So you already know that part. If you love drawing using your smartphone, and if you your tablet rather, and if you love using your stylus for drawing, for taking notes, you would definitely love this stylus, because I am not a stylus guy, and yet I've been loving and I've been using this one for different purposes. Alright, so as you can see in here, this one is magnetically attached at the top of the tablet because it supports wireless charging as well. Now, let's look at the tablet. Alright, so first we got here the detachable smart magnetic keyboard. Of course, we got here the large display. We got here the green color. We got here the dual lens camera. I definitely love that one. We got here, of course, the back. It's so light and it's so thin. It's the thinnest tablet from Huawei, and I believe the thinnest one that I have ever tried. We also got here the speaker grills on the side, and this is currently one of the best tablets when it comes to sound and when it comes to speakers. It comes with a 6 speakers inside. That's why watching movies, watching YouTube videos is perfect on this Huawei tablet. Alright, going back, we got here, of course, the support for the smart magnetic keyboard with touchpad and also the keyboard. We've seen before Huawei MatePads with a keyboard, but this one, it comes with this large touchpad or a trackpad. Unfortunately, we got the white one, so you've noticed that there are a bit of stains over this one. So yeah, it's also available in black, so you don't have to worry about that one if you're not really the type of person who's always clean, who always eats a lot of chips or probably some sauce. If you drip some sauce on this one, well, of course, you have to be careful with that one. Anyway, going back, this is the MatePad Pro 13.2. We got here the tin bezels on the side. At the top, we got here the selfie camera, of course, but we also got there a notch. I'm not really complaining about the notch. The notch isn't really visible to me when I was using it. I mean, yes, it's there, but once you use it, it's basically become invisible as long as you're using the tablet. Alright, so this one is made for productivity. We got the keyboard, we got the touchpad, and of course, it comes with a software that is made for a larger display, and we're gonna talk about that later. But first, let's talk about the hardware on this one. You've seen the display of this tablet. We definitely love it. We love the M Pencil. We love the bezels on this one. But how about using the keyboard and also the touchpad on this MatePad Pro 13.2? Surprisingly, there's of course the cursor that you can see right now on the display. But here's the thing, I wasn't really expecting that it would have a good experience, because this is the first MatePad Pro or the MatePad that comes with a smart magnetic keyboard with a touchpad. We haven't seen a MatePad before with a touchpad like this, and I was surprised that the implementation and also the experience on this one is really good. As you can see, we got here some hover effects on the widgets and also the icons on the home screen of the tablet. However, there's one thing that is missing on this one, and that is the desktop mode, or the one that I've been using on the P60 Pro and other Huawei smartphones. Previously on other Huawei smartphones, whenever I plug it in on an external display, I was loving the EMUI desktop mode because I was having a desktop UI on a larger display on my smartphone. It might be a small thing to me and even for some people, but that is something that could maximize the productivity of other people, similar to how Samsung DeX works on the Samsung Galaxy tablets. Alright, so I really want to emphasize on the experience on this one because when we talk about the hardware, we're getting a Kirin 9000W processor, a brand new processor, but it's actually a little bit dated when it comes to the benchmark numbers. But when it comes to performance, I was actually surprised on how good this one is and how optimized it is with other apps and games. Again, I've tried it on different games, including Call of Duty Mobile, and I was surprised that I was even able to set it up at the ultra frame rates at the highest settings, and yet we're still getting a really good experience on this large tablet. And as you can see on that one, we got here large display and the bezels are really thin, so you would definitely love playing on this one because I've been having so much fun on this tablet whenever I want to use it for productivity or even for gaming. Alright, so we're playing Call of Duty Mobile. Of course, we've set it up at the very high settings. Of course, ultra frame rates if I wanted to. So as you can see in here, we got here an ultra frame rates at up to 90 frames, which isn't that bad. But of course, when you set it up at the ultra frame rates, the graphic settings is automatically at low. But if you want, you can set it up very high settings. And there we go, we still got here the max frame rate. So I'm really happy with that one. I've also turned on everything that I wanted. Let's turn on bloom, water reflection, and everything, even the depth of field and ragdoll. There we go. So we're gonna try out multiplayer on this one, and I want to show you how loud this one is. All right, so we've set the sounds at max as well, so we can see how loud this one is, and you can see how good this one is when it comes to audio. So yeah, you could really hear how loud this one is thanks to its 6-speaker setup. This is amazing actually. So as you can see here in multiplayer, the graphics is kind of good, and of course the important part in here is the frame rate, which is really smooth on this one, and very important especially on FPS games like Call of Duty Mobile that we're playing right now. We're not good at Call of Duty, but we're definitely having fun playing this one on the MatePad Pro 13.2. So basically, you have the gist on what to expect with Call of Duty Mobile on the MatePad Pro 13.2 and even on a dated Kirin 9000W processor. Now let me show you some of the modern games, including this one. This is Honkai Star Rail. So yes, you could hear that the sound again is really loud thanks to its 6-speaker setup. Of course, I have to set down the sound settings because it's so loud. But as you can see in here, we've set it up at up to 60 frames per second at the very high graphic settings. I've been a big fan of Honkai Star Rail, so let me try this one. This is a Calyx, and let's do 6 challenges, of course, and let's do an autoplay on this one. So let me show you that the graphic settings of this one is really smooth. Alright, so despite a lot of animations, despite a lot of things that is going on the display, I was actually surprised that we're getting 60 frames per second on this one. Other mid-range or even, premium mid-range processors that are out there in the market that are actually quite newer compared to this one are having problems reaching up to 60 frames per second sometimes. And again, I was actually surprised that we're getting 60 frames per second on Honkai Star Rail when playing on the MatePad Pro 13.2. But like what I've said earlier, this is not just for entertainment, but this is also for productivity, and having a productive workflow on a tablet means that you need to have a really good multi-window. That's why we also got here a really good multi-window on the MatePad Pro 13.2. Alright, so let me show you how multi-window works on the MatePad Pro 13.2 and how I was able to maximize productivity on this one. All I need to do is to swipe up, drag the window up to this part, and you can already see that we now have a multi-window that works on the MatePad Pro 13.2. But this also means that I can also open WPS Office PC and have Honkai Star Rail on top of that window. And yes, this is WPS Office with a PC level UI and PC level features. So let me show you this one. So I can just minimize this one if I wanted to. And then of course I have here the PC level WPS Office, and I can maximize it by using my keyboard and also my touchpad. If I want to change some data on this one, if I wanted to type my thesis, I could just create a new tab, exit this one if I wanted to, create a new empty document, and voila, we got here a PC level UI on the MatePad Pro 13.2. You can see here that we got here the insert, page layout, references, and everything. This is basically the same UI that we're seeing on a PC level WPS Office, and that means something, especially for office workers who wants a portable device or who wants a smaller device that they can use anywhere with a PC level experience. The problem with most apps that are out there in the market is that, of course, they are not optimized for larger displays like this one on the MatePad Pro 13.2. This is a almost laptop display, 13-inch. It's even bigger than some of the laptops out there in the market. So having a UI like this is something that I really love. But of course, we also got here the multi-window. So for example, I have to do multi-window. All I need to do is to drag the window on the left, and of course I could open two windows side by side, and of course open Honkai Star Rail as well on top of these windows. And again, this is maximum productivity on the MatePad Pro 13.2. Now you might be wondering, how about the applications? Well, I've been downloading my apps on the Huawei app gallery, but for some other apps, like for example Google applications, I've been using Gbox, and I mentioned that in my previous videos about Huawei devices. And you can actually download these Google applications such as Google Docs, Google Drive directly on the app gallery now. And when you install those applications, it also installs Gbox as well, which is basically an emulation layer to run these Google applications. And if you ask me, I really didn't have any problems when I was running Google applications. For example, I'm gonna run Google Docs. I've been typing some of my reviews on Google Docs, and like this, it's as easy as that. I could open a new window. This is my review of Transcend Card Reader, and it's similar to what we have seen on other tablets running Google Docs. It's easy, it's smooth. I really don't have any problems with it, and the combination of the keyboard and the touchpad is actually pretty good on this one. Now you might be asking me, what's the experience of the keyboard and also the touchpad of the MatePad Pro 13.2? Surprisingly, it's a really good experience when typing on this keyboard. It's even better than the iPad Pro that I've been using with the Magic Keyboard. And the touchpad is actually pretty large for a tablet like this. That's why we could have a maximum productivity on this one. When you use office documents or office files or office apps rather, like WPS Office, you could have a better grasp on the different UI, different functionalities because of the good keyboard and also the touchpad. The keys are large and of course it doesn't feel cramped at all. So I was really having fun typing on this keyboard, and I've typed a lot of reviews or written reviews rather on the MatePad Pro 13.2. I was actually even using Microsoft Edge and also Google Chrome at the same time on this one, so I could run different web apps as well. I've been running Google Bard on Google Chrome. Of course, I have Copilot application installed through APK on this one. So a lot of things actually to love about the keyboard and the touchpad. It acts like a laptop to me, and it feels like a laptop to me. But of course, that isn't just the cool feature on the Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2. So if you're the type of person like me who uses a Huawei device as well, specifically the P60 Pro, you could actually connect the MatePad Pro to your other devices. In my other video of the MateBook D16 2024, I've been using the MatePad Pro 13.2 as my external monitor as well. You could connect it using super device. So all I need to do is to swipe down from the top and just tap on the device or Huawei device that I wanted to connect it to. So I have here the P60 Pro that I was using for recording, and if I want to transfer this video or a photo, I could just use super device. It's easy, it's fast, and you could do collaborative work. You could do an you could use it as an external monitor. You could transfer files seamlessly. There's a lot of things to love about super device, but of course you have to be on the Huawei ecosystem to be able to utilize that feature. Well, so what are the things that I don't like about it? Well, of course, there are some things that you probably would like about this one. I mean, you could remove the keyboard and still use the touchpad and the keyboard even though it's not attached to the tablet. However, I do not like that we got here the kickstand. I still prefer the one that we're having on the Magic Keyboard, because when I ever use this one on the airport, I cannot use it on my lap. It's not as good as having a laptop-like hinge on this one. But yeah, we also got here a really thin bezel here. That's why, swiping from swiping from below to the top, it's a little bit harder, especially if the keyboard is blocking me. However, there's so much things to love about this one, and yeah, it might have a dated processor. It might not have, the latest processor on this one, but still we're getting good performance. I was actually surprised with its software because I wasn't expecting that it would be optimized as this one for a larger display. So yeah, there's so much to love about this one, and I'm really excited on what Huawei can offer in the future. But hopefully we could still get a cellular, probably 5G version of this one in the future here in the Philippines, and probably a more powerful processor, because I'm pretty sure that not all games would be as good as this one in the future. Of course, these are optimized applications. There's so much to improve, of course, but overall, this is the best Huawei tablet that I have ever reviewed. And again, I'm not being biased in here. Let me give you a context. I've been using a Huawei smartphone for a while. That's why I've been loving this one. And yeah, this is the MatePad Pro. It's perfect for entertainment. It's also perfect for productivity. So if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and of course don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and be sure to click that subscribe button along with that bell button to get notified of our latest videos here in my YouTube channel. So once again, I am JamOnline.ph. Thank you for watching, and see you guys again in my next video.